Hi everyone, it's Michael Abbey with Enterprise Express Tax again, touching base to talk about the additions to the Small Business Administration package for small businesses, especially with regards independent contractors and those who were paid with 1099s. When you can apply for the Paycheck Protection Program. However, you will need to make sure that you have a Schedule C or that you file the Schedule C with your 2019 taxes. And in addition, for you to qualify, you would need to show that your Schedule C was not negative. In essence, you need to show that your Schedule C was a positive net profit. That's the way that you can show that you're eligible for the Paycheck Protection Program, meaning that you've been able to pay yourself because you made a profit. If you're stating that you did not make a profit, which some business people do because sometimes you don't make a profit, then what that means is that you could not have paid yourself. And in other words, you would not be on your own payroll. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's one way that you can qualify as a self-employed person. The other way that you can qualify is, let's say, for instance, you're an Uber driver. And of course, as an Uber driver or any other kind of contractor, you get paid with a 1099. Therefore, you would be filing a Schedule C on your 2019 tax return. And if that's the case, then you can still qualify. Now, there is one caveat with the program, and that is if you're self-employed, you cannot claim anything over $100,000 in terms of what you got paid as compensation. Okay? So you cannot claim anything over $100,000. So what's been suggested is if that's the case, whether it's you or anyone who's on your payroll, then the suggestion is that you keep that figure on your Schedule C or on your payroll as 100,000. In other words, you're going to max out at $100,000, not $1 above. Okay, so that's the suggestion that's being set. Bear in mind, this is not perfect. All right, and let's say, let's use this example. You could be a self-employed person and you have a Schedule C and you were in the negative last year. In other words, you lost money. One would think logically that that should qualify you for the Paycheck Protection Program because, you didn't make any money. You might still have paid yourself, but you still ran out of loss because your expenses were so high that you didn't make any money. The assumption is that, again, I'm going to come back to this, is that if you did not make any money, then how were you able to pay yourself to qualify for the Paycheck Protection Program? So, it's not a perfect definition, and my advice would be maybe you still want to go ahead and apply, go through your bank. Obviously, you don't want to falsify anything because I'm pretty sure there's going to be an audit trail on all these applications. But probably you want to go ahead, apply through your bank. I've looked at the Bank of America application process, and it's pretty simple. You will need, if you have an LLC and you have an EIN number, it's probably going to be easier for you if you have an existing business account. And if you've had that business account prior to, say, January of 2020, okay, that, from what I've seen, makes it a lot easier to apply, especially through the Bank of America program. And of course, Bank of America or any bank that you have an existing business account with will have your accounts, will have your history. So it just makes it a whole lot more easier. A couple of weeks ago, probably last month, there was a requirement by Bank of America that you would have or should have had an existing some kind of credit debit relationship with them. In other words, you should or would need to have had a credit card or some kind of loan that's separate from your small business banking account. I believe as of now that requirement is no longer necessary. In other words, You do not have to have a credit line of credit or a credit card relationship with Bank of America in order to qualify to apply for the Paycheck Protection Loan Program. However, you will need to have an existing business account relationship with them. Okay, so from my understanding, that is what I've learned. So the good news is this: if you're an independent contractor, if you're a small business person who does not have anyone on payroll but you pay yourself, then you do qualify to apply for the program. However, there is a caveat. If you did not make any positive net profit in 2019, then that might be a problem, because you have to show that you paid yourself to be on some kind of payroll, even if it's just for yourself. I would definitely suggest speaking to your accountant and just making sure that everything's okay, and they can work it through you. They can point out the fine items that need to be thoroughly looked at, so that you have a good audit trail, just in case, in the event that the government or the SBA comes back. Remember that these are loans. Okay, first and foremost, these are loans. People might be telling you that they're grants, but they are first and foremost loans. And what's going to happen is that at some stage, somewhere in the near future or the later future, the SBA is probably going to ask you for some kind of documentation to show that the loans were used for exactly what they're supposed to be used for. Okay? So that's something that I need everyone to bear in mind, that there's probably going to be a requirement for you to show that the loans were used. For instance, you may have used the loans to cover your payroll, you may have used the loans to cover your rent or your mortgage, and that's all outlined in the loan requirements. So make sure that my advice would be, if you get the money, put it in a separate account. Make sure there's a audit trail of everything that you have used the money for. If it's for payroll, make sure there's an audit trail. If it's for rent, make sure there's an audit trail. The good thing is, if you put in a separate account, it's a lot easier to track exactly how that money has been used, so that in the near future, if you get asked and there's an audit, you're able to show exactly how it's been used. So that's my take on the new developments on the Paycheck Protection Program. Like I said, the good news now is that people who are self-employed or independent contractors are now eligible to apply. Again, apply as quickly as you can, because there's no guarantee how long this money will last, and there's no guarantee that there will be a third wave of monies released for this program. So that's my take. Enterprise tax. If you have any questions, give us a call. We are open. We're taking online appointments, and we can process tax returns online as well. Once again, it's Michael Abbey wishing everyone happy Mother's Day. Please stay safe, and contact us if you have any questions. Take care, and bye.